Acts. Chapter 9. Meanwhile, Shaul, still breathing murderous threats against the Lord's Talmudim, went to the Kohen Hagadol and asked him for letters to the synagogues in Damascus, authorizing him to arrest any people he might find, whether men or women, who belonged to the Way, and bring them back to Jerusalem. He was on the road and nearing Damascus when suddenly a light from heaven flashed all around him. Falling to the ground, he heard a voice saying to him, "Shaul, Shaul, why do you keep persecuting me?" "Sir, who are you?" he asked. "I am Yeshua, and you are persecuting me. But get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you have to do." The men traveling with him stood speechless, hearing the voice but seeing no one. They helped Shaul get up off the ground, but when he opened his eyes, he could see nothing. So, leading him by the hand, they brought him into Damascus. For 3 days he remained unable to see, and he neither ate nor drank. There was a Talmud in Damascus, Hananiah by name. And in a vision the Lord said to him, "Hananiah." He said, "Here I am, Lord." The Lord said to him, "Get up and go to Straight Street, to Yehuda's house, and ask for a man from Tarsus named Shaul, for he is praying. In a vision he has seen a man named Hananiah coming in and placing his hands on him to restore his sight." But Hananiah answered, "Lord, many have told me about this man, how much harm he has done to your people in Jerusalem, and he has a warrant from the head Kohanim to arrest everyone who calls on your name." But the Lord said to him, "Go, because this man is my chosen instrument to carry my name to the nations, even to their kings, and to the sons of Israel as well. For I myself will show him how much he will have to suffer on account of my name." So Hananiah left and went into the house. Placing his hands on him, he said, "Brother Shaul, the Lord Yeshua, the one who appeared to you on the road as you were coming here, has sent me to you, who has sent me so that you may see again and be filled with the Ruach HaKodesh." In that moment, something like scales fell away from Shaul's eyes, and he could see again. He got up and was immersed. Then he ate some food and regained his strength. Shaul spent some days with the Talmudim in Damascus, and immediately he began proclaiming in the synagogues that Yeshua is the Son of God. All who heard him were amazed. They asked, "Isn't he the man who in Jerusalem was trying to destroy the people who call on this name? In fact, isn't that why he came here, to arrest them and bring them back to the head Kohanim?" But Shaul was being filled with more and more power, and was creating an uproar among the Jews living in Damascus with his proofs that Yeshua is the Messiah. Quite some time later, the non-believing Jews gathered together and made plans to kill him, but their plot became known to Shaul. They were watching the gates day and night in order to do away with him, but under cover of night his Talmudim took him and let him down over the city wall, lowering him in a large basket. On reaching Jerusalem, he tried to join the Talmudim, but they were all afraid of him. They didn't believe he was a Talmud. However, Barnabas got hold of him and took him to the emissaries. He told them how Shaul had seen the Lord while traveling, that the Lord had spoken to him, and how in Damascus Shaul had spoken out boldly in the name of Yeshua. So he remained with them and went all over Jerusalem, continuing to speak out boldly in the name of the Lord. He talked and debated with the Greek-speaking Jews, but they began making attempts to kill him. When the brothers learned of it, they brought him down to Caesarea and sent him away to Tarsus. Then the Messianic community throughout Yehuda, the Galil, and Shamron enjoyed peace and was built up. They lived in the fear of the Lord with the counsel of the Ruach HaKodesh, and their numbers kept multiplying. As Kepha traveled around the countryside, he came down to the believers in Lud. There he found a man named Aeneas, who had laid bedridden for 8 years, because he was paralyzed. Kepha said to him, "Aeneas, Yeshua the Messiah is healing you. Get up and make your bed." Everyone living in Lud and Sharon saw him, and they turned to the Lord. Now in Yaffo there was a Talmida named Tavida, which means gazelle. She was always doing tzedakah and other good deeds. It happened that just at that time she took sick and died. After washing her, they laid her in a room upstairs. Lud is near Yaffo, and the Talmudim had heard that Kepha was there, so they sent 2 men to him and urged him, "Please come to us without delay." Kepha got up and went with them. When he arrived, they led him into the upstairs room. All the widows stood by him, sobbing and showing all the dresses and coats Tavita had made them while she was still with them. But Kepha put them all outside, kneeled down, and prayed. Then, turning to the body, he said, "Tavita, get up." She opened her eyes, and on seeing Kepha, she sat up. He offered her his hand and helped her to her feet. Then, calling the believers and the widows, he presented her to them alive. This became known all over Yaffo, and many people put their trust in the Lord. Kepha stayed on in Yaffo for some time with a man named Shimon, a leather tanner. End of Acts, chapter 9.